Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. In today's episode we are going to be checking out the T-6 Texan that was brought in with the Reno Air Race aircraft. So stick around guys, because I'm really excited to try this one out and I've been wanting to for quite a while. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Okay, so the T-6 Texan, I mean, heck, before Microsoft Flight Simulator, to be honest, I had never even heard of this aircraft. All right, what do we got? Piston healing. Oh, look at that. So it definitely looks like it's got remnants of World War II. I don't remember ever reading about the T-6. But cool little aircraft. Looks like definitely radial engine, so I'm really interested to hear what it sounds like. This is part of the Air Race package that came with the Reno Air Races when they first released with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, I am much more interested today in flying the aircraft and walking through the startup. So, you know, if all goes well with the flight model and we enjoy flying the aircraft, we'll dive in deeper as far as the startup process. But for today, we're just going to do the auto start, and I want to hear her start up. So. Sounds great. Actually sounds really good. Now, can you even open the canopy? I'm not... Doesn't look like it. Unless I'm missing something, which I totally could be. Like I said, I'm not diving too deep into it today, assuming I don't wreck it. But let's release that parking brake and see what happens when we get it going. Whoa, she likes to get moving right away, huh? Looks like differential braking is our friend here. Oh, you know what else I need to do? Back out, back out. 329, huh? All right, give me a second. There, that's a little better. I was about to say, the cockpit view is really weird. Totally missed the taxiway on that one. Nice job there, genius. All right, there she goes. So, you can tell it's a default aircraft for sure. And insult, no insult, not trying to be a jerk, but you can tell by the turn radius. Doesn't look like differential braking was required. It just takes that much to get her moving here. Oh, and guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't feel like taxiing down to 2.9 or right, so we're going to drop stage 1 flaps here. I'm assuming it's flaps. Where's my flaps up? There's my flaps up. Okay, good. All right. And then we're going to roll with it with the tailwind here. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it's not too crazy. I'm watching the rudder input. Oh, right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Okay, dancing the rudders, dancing the rudders. There's the tail wheel coming off the ground. Looking for 80. Rotating. Easy pickup. Still holding in that right rudder. Positive rate. Gears coming up. 100 miles per hour. Flaps coming up. Alright, let's see what we got down here. That's going to be manifold pressure. RPMs. Let's take the RPMs down to about 2,000 for now. Let's take our manifold pressure 2,500. And again, that's without any research. I haven't done any research on this aircraft, guys. just enjoying the flight. So takeoff, definitely challenging. You still had to do quite a bit of right rudder input on that one. It wasn't terrible. Nothing like the Corsair or the P-40, you know, the study level warbirds. Or study level, that's such a bad word to use. I don't like using that. The higher fidelity simulations, let's go with that. Not as difficult, but still had to use that right rudder input and had to maintain that all the way through rotation there. But as far as overall flying, I mean, let's go hands off the controls, see what it does. That was my feet coming off the rudders. Pretty solid. So I don't know if that's going to necessarily be accurate. I don't know a lot about. Again, I don't know anything about the T6. So what I'm looking for here is, you know, is there any kind of wind effect? Is the wind pushing the aircraft? Are we bouncing? Is there turbulence? Is it wanting to wander and wobble as we adjust power? You know, there. If you watch the, let's pull the RPMs off, manifold pressure off, back on, back on. Not much changes, right? So flight model seems like it's probably pretty simple, but let's see what the performance of it is like in a high-speed environment. So let's start rocking and rolling it. We're going to increase RPMs quite a bit here, increase that manifold pressure back up, get the airspeed rolling around, and we're just going to start tearing tail. I really do try to watch my mouth in this, so that's why I come up with things like tearing tail. You guys know what I'm wanting to say. All right, so let's see here. Let's bring it around. Ooh, okay, it's responsive. Give you that. Interesting. Ooh, going for that knife edge, it really doesn't want to hold that. That nose wants to drop pretty quick, even with a lot of left rudder or counter rudder in there, which is fine. It's probably because it's not designed to do that for very long. I don't know many aircraft that can hold the knife edge for too long. Sort of hard to do when you lose everything that's giving you your lift, right? So, as you can see, roll rate, let me sit back a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. That might help. There's max roll rate to the left. Pulling right. Pulling hard, pulling hard, pulling hard. Let's see what our airspeed's doing. There must not be a ton of drag simulation. We didn't lose almost any airspeed in that. So, I mean, it definitely seems like a very simple aircraft. It definitely seems like there isn't much to it. It's pretty, you know, but when it comes to that, you know, Asoba doesn't have any problems with that. They really don't. Let's take a look from the outside. It's going to get a little loud here for a minute, so stand by. Alright, so pretty simple. Looks pretty, like I said. Looks gorgeous. Flies well if you're just looking to casually sort of mess around. Now again, without, and that's part of why I do a lot of these without any research, is to ascertain what's the difficulty level. So I would, and that's for myself. You know, I don't think I've ever really mentioned that in a previous video as to why I will fly these aircraft without any research or knowledge. And again, that's just sort of determining the difficulty level. You know, if I can pull that off without any research, if I can fly it, land it, well, that lets me know it's probably a pretty simple aircraft, right? So let's go ahead and bring it in. Let's see, what are we looking at here? We're looking about 140 miles an hour. Start pulling some manifold pressure off. We're going to pull the RPMs back quite a bit here. Get her to slow down a bit, stop biting through the air as much. And I'm going to go ahead and drop flaps 1 here. Man, she doesn't want to slow down. Come on, girl. Alright, pulling even more RPMs out. Trying to take the bite out of the propeller there. There she goes. That's better. Alright, let's go flaps 2. Let's go ahead and bring the gear down. Where's our airport? There's our airport. This time we'll land in the right direction. That's a pretty good approach. A little long, but we're there. Alright, we got max flaps in. Yeah, was a good approach. Now we're high. Alright, so we're coming in with a crosswind. Tell by the way the... Well, maybe. I thought we were. The nose looked like it was slipping there for a second. Putting that prop back in. Keeping the manifold pressure back down for a minute. Looking for 70 miles an hour is what I'm aiming for here. Based on our rotation was pretty strong at 80. So I'm looking for about a 70 on the approach. We'll see what happens here. And again with max flap, should drop pretty hard once we pull the power off. Assuming all goes well. Looks like we're holding about 80 miles on the approach, but... There's an aircraft in the center of the runway. Move it along, amigo. Move it along. 001 train wreck coming in. Alright, so what we got? There's 70. Looks like 70's about right. Alright, killing the power. Oh no, my gear didn't come down. Oh, mercy. I thought I dropped the gear. I did not. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, it's a good thing there isn't a damage model in this simulator. Pathetic. Oh, great piloting, Mike. Great piloting. Well, guys, there is the T-6 Texan. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is why I always leave these dumb mistakes in the videos. At the very least, you'll get some entertainment out of it. So, as always, guys, let me know what you think of the T-6 Texan down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. If you guys haven't tried this one out, very simple aircraft. Doesn't seem to have a whole lot of difficulty to it, but I think it'd be fun to fly in one of the races. We'll have to give that a shot next time. I think I will go ahead and dive in a little bit further to the aircraft and see what she's like. But as always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, folks.